The overtime compensation for executives and officials, let me take that out of order.
Overtime pay for department heads during times of disaster response is getting little support. On November 27th, the Hawaii County Salary Commission talked about possible adjustments to executive salaries for extraordinary demands, like during the recent volcanic eruption. The commissioners and the county's head of human resources agreed it was not a good idea.
Certain appointed officials, especially in this unique situation where we have multi-disasters going on, we're spending almost continuous hours up in the Civil Defense Headquarters doing disaster response and management and control. As appointed officials under the Salary Commission, they do not get any additional compensation for that. So with that, is there any discussion on that?
Historically, municipalities do not pay department heads and deputies, overtime. It's just when you accept the appointment to that position, the understanding is that you're there taking the position on a 24-hour basis. You're not just there 7:45 to 4:30. You accept the position as a department head, and with the understanding that you're going to be there 24/7. And I think this is a slippery slope. One of the things that you are tasked with, one of the duties you're tasked with is setting the salary for the mayor. And I think it's just unconscionable that now we're going to say, okay, there's a disaster, so now we're going to pay the mayor time and a half overtime, for, those type of situations, or anybody, department, public works. And what constitutes a major disaster? Who's going to be making that determination? It follows the eruption event that we recently had, but that's a very unique situation. That's not something that happens often, and hopefully not, but I think if we change the rules to accommodate for that, again, are we just going to say, okay, extraordinary demands due to a disaster? Is that only for lava disasters? Or, like I said previously, where do we draw the line?
The middle manager is, say, an assistant chief for the police department. During an extraordinary event like a declared disaster, that person is collecting overtime?
Well, it depends. If there's duties and responsibilities
right.
that
So what if that
individual-
overtime got to the point where it caused an inversion to one of the department heads?
And that's where, oftentimes we do see inversion.
Mm-hmm.
There's no strict law, there's no strict regulation that there can't be inversion. And we're talking about here, the language itself is extraordinary demand. And you described a situation that's extraordinary.
We should look at it with objective guidelines instead of subjective. Because what is how are we going to define what's extraordinary?
Because if you look at disastrous times, those poor people that are running businesses, et cetera, out there, 20 hours a night, 20 hours a day is nothing, and they don't get any overtime. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to survive. So I think the optics would be horrendous for us.
Yeah, when I was appointed, we just take reporting whenever you have to, even emergency meetings as part of the job. You take it with that knowledge that you are the head of the department, and so is your deputy. And I'll tell you what, it's fun working in civil defense because it's really freelance. And I always commented, I really enjoyed going up there because you have a team of people working very collaboratively, helping each other out. Even as far as the working staff working out in the field, responding to calls from the public, you almost have a different employee come out of them. I mean, these are people that are usually doing maintenance work out there, and accused of standing around, too many people standing around watching one people working, but there's a different person that comes out during an emergency. So it is a lot of fun, and they feed you good too.